As important as it is to eat, it is more important to consume a healthy diet. See how beautiful this garden is, for example. Have you considered growing a herb, fruit, or vegetable garden? It does make it easier to consume a healthy diet. When we eat healthy, we are healthy and productive. Welcome, this is Better You. Our focus today is the healing plate. My name is Yetunde Jayola. Welcome back. At the very top of our daily need is food. Daily, there is more information about how we can impact our health positively by what we eat. Dr. Stella Iweago is a health expert, a farmer, and the CEO of SD Farms based in Abuja. Her work and trainings take her all over the world. Thelma Obaze had a conversation with her recently via Zoom.
It's a pleasure to have this conversation with you, Dr. Stella Iweago, because what we're talking about today has been causing some interest, especially among Nigerians in the FCT and indeed nationwide. Tell us in detail about the healing plate. What does it entail?
The healing plate is really our acronym for food as medicine, because you are what you eat. What you eat can heal you or it can mar you. A lot of the food we eat in the country today is loaded with a lot of chemicals. The environment is loaded with a lot of toxins. There are a lot of chronic conditions, and all of those chronic conditions lead to denaturing of our cells. There are what we call oxidation. Oxidation causes damage and denaturing of the DNA of our cells. And we also chronic inflammation. This also causes degenerative conditions in the body that we eventually label as one disease or the other, whether it's high blood pressure, diabetes, inflammation of the arthritis, whatever name, there's a name for it. But it didn't start that way. It started as a result of oxidative degeneration of the cells. And also the food, some of the bad habits we have in the food we eat, the alcohol, the cigarette, the smoke, the toxins in our environment, causes to a lot of cellular degeneration, which leads to illness. So the concept of the healing plate is what are those things that you need to have in your plate that can actually help to repair those damages and rejuvenate your cells so that you begin to heal from your cells inside out, from your body inside out. So it's really the concept of food as medicine. You know, if you put the right kind of food in your plate, it will help you to heal. That is the concept of the healing plate. So it's not enough, you know, when we were in school, we had what we call balanced diet. But it's not enough to just have balanced diet. It's actually for people to visualize it in their plates. So if you have a plate, you know, the size of your plate matters. If you have a big plate and you heap it up with food, you're likely going to be eating more than your body needs. And then if you have a medium-sized plate and you decide to load it up with carbohydrate and fufu rice, the way we fill up the plate, you're going to load your body with so much sugar, because carbohydrate eventually breaks down to sugar for your body to absorb it. So you're going to have overload of glucose, and eventually your body needs only a little for your energy needs. And then the rest will be stored in your body as fat, or it could be stored in your body and then it begins to change to other things that can actually hurt your body, because excess sugar in the body eventually will cause insulin resistance, and your body is not able to metabolize those sugar. Then you start having conditions like diabetes, weight gain, and other conditions in the body. So when people say reduce carbohydrate intake, that is what we're looking at in our healing plate. So
Okay.
our healing plate carbohydrate should have very little portion of carbohydrate. And each person's carbohydrate need will depend on their activity level. Your caloric need will depend on your activity level.
Okay.
And then the healing plate also contains proteins, and the kind of protein matters in the healing plate, and it takes like a quarter of the plate. But 3/4 of your plate should contain vegetables. And in Nigeria, we have abundance of vegetables, from your green to your tomato to your okra to ugu and spinach. There are just varieties of vegetables. And you have some of the exotic ones like broccoli, cabbage, carrots, green peas, beans. Those are all vegetables that really will help fill your body. And the one thing about that healing plate is it's loaded with fiber. And fiber is your prebiotic that actually help with your gut health. Because if your food is a lot of carbohydrate, you find that you have a lot of tendency for constipation. And whatever you eat, plus all the toxins and things, just sits in your gut and doesn't do your gut any good. All the toxins is absorbed and you start having cancers and all kinds of metabolic issues with your stomach because it just sits there and rots. Okay. But when you are eating food that is loaded with vegetables and fibers, then it becomes like a sweeper. It sweeps through your gut and cleans out your gut. And most importantly, it also provides fodder for the gut microbiome, the gut microorganisms that are actually important for regulating our system. They say the gut is the second brain. The hormones that your body needs to function and the lining of your gut are all lined with microorganisms that are important and beneficial in your body's metabolism.
Today I have with me again Dr. Enedima Iweke. She is a medical doctor and a certified nutrition coach. Welcome again to Better You.
Thank you. It's nice being here again.
Nice having you always. And today we are talking about preventive plate with special focus on obesity. When we say obesity, who is typically classified as obese and what are the criteria for this classification?
We're going to be looking at some things that are not very common,
okay,
right? So first of all, to define obesity, we use a classification called BMI, the body mass index. So there's a way to calculate the BMI we discussed
the last time.
Yes, so if your BMI is 30 kilograms per meter squared and above, the person is described as obese. So when people talk about obesity, they concentrate on what they eat that made them get to that. But there's a lot that gets people obese. It's not just what you have on your plate. So according to Joshua Rosenthal, he defined food, or he classified food into two. We have the primary food and the secondary food. So the primary food includes everything that is going to keep you healthy or unhealthy that are not in your plate. Do you know that even relationships, good or bad, can affect our weight? Do you know?
I don't know that, but now.
Yeah, our careers as well. If you're doing something you love, you're likely to be within the normal weight. There's something called stress-induced weight gain. People don't know about it. Sometimes you're gaining weight and people are saying, you're doing well, you're looking good. They don't know it's stress that is making you gain weight. So we have the primary food, and then the secondary food is, the carrots, the broccoli, all the things that we have in our diet.
Our plate as Nigerians should matter, because if we think of talking about foreign food, people get mixed up with what they want to take. So let's focus more on our diet, particularly Nigerian meals.
It's a normal thing in Nigeria and even Africa at large to eat more of carbohydrates, oil, and then very little of protein. So we all need a balanced diet. And what a balanced diet means for you may not be what it means for the next person. So if somebody wants to maintain a healthy weight, the person should focus on lean proteins, the vegetables, and water, and less of carbohydrates and fats. Not that they won't be in the diet, but less. So I've had clients who wanted to watch their weight or lose some weight, and they achieved it just by drinking enough water.
Oh, water.
Yes. So we advise people to take 6 bottles before 6. Okay. That is approximately 3 liters of water daily. That helps to maintain a healthy weight.
What should it be? Is it 50 cl or 30 cl?
So in Africa, like in Nigeria, the weather is hot. So the estimate is about 3 liters a day. Okay. So to get 3 liters, it's 50 cl times 6.
Okay.
Yes.
Some say take water before your meal. Some say take it after your meal. Some say take it 10 minutes at intervals. Or is water intake, when you take excess water, does it have any negative effect on our body?
Okay. So this is a bit of a complex question. Water intake should be within the 3 liter mark, yes. Okay. But at the same time, if someone has exercised a lot during the day, yes, and you feel more thirsty, you can take more actually. Then as for taking water with food, water has a way of diluting our enzymes. So it's not advisable to take water immediately with food so that it doesn't dilute the enzymes. It's also advisable to take water like 30 minutes before food so that it helps you, if you're watching your weight, to feel fuller in a short while.
Is obesity caused by consuming excess calorie, or are there more things that causes obesity?
Most obvious one is our calories, how much food you take vis-a-vis your activity level. Okay. Do you exercise? Some people eat a lot and they still exercise, especially children, and they don't put on weight as much. Then there's something called our metabolic rate. Some people have higher metabolic rates, like you can see them even in cold places, they are sweating. So it means they are burning calories faster. Then some people have different hormonal situations. For example, someone who is pregnant is likely to gain weight even if she's not eating so much because of that situation. Then these are some of the factors. Yes, and then some people also who are on different medication can make them put on weight, or the other way around. If one is bigger, you're stressing the joints, you're stressing the heart, and then people are more insulin resistant when they are bigger, especially when they have the abdominal weight. The pancreas are don't function as they should, so they are more liable to diabetes. So there are so many health conditions that arise as a result of obesity. Even women who are trying to conceive tend to find it more difficult if they are bigger. I've had clients who came to me to say, I want to lose weight because I want to go on a fertility program. So the more someone is overweight, the less the likelihood of even getting pregnant. Then for children who are obese, it has a way of affecting their cognitive skills. You see children who eat a lot, they sit down, they don't play like other children, they are not active. And
because
so
they tend to get tired easily.
Exactly. So it's not even advisable for anybody to be overweight. It's just that in Africa, people look at big children as rich people's children, and that mentality needs to change.
So how do we help the children to manage their weight? They have sweet tooth. They want to take snacks like meat pie, ice cream and co. How can we help them to manage their weight?
So there's this saying, catch them young, right? If you want to build a society of health-conscious individuals, they need to start as children, right? Growing up, I knew that babies weren't given sugar in their pap. Yes. Until recently, people now give children sugar. Sugary things shouldn't be, the normal for children. And so when they are trained to grow up without eating those sugary things, even when they grow up, they stick to it.
Are the terms obese and overweight interchangeable, or do they have distinct meanings?
So one is a step ahead of the other. So if your BMI is within 25 to 29.9, it's termed overweight.
Okay.
That's the definition. But if the BMI is above 30, then the person is said to be obese. And either way, they need to work on their weight. Yes. And so when someone is overweight, it's like a reminder that you're drifting. But when someone becomes fully obese, there's urgent need for a weight management program.
Is obesity genetic or is it by what we eat?
It's a combination of the two. So there's nature and nurture, right? They said lifestyle or our nature brings out the gun, right? And then our nurture pulls the trigger, if you get what I mean. So if you're naturally in a family that are big, yes, you have it in your genes, but it's now left for your lifestyle to determine if you will actually be big. So if knowing that you have it in your family, you eat less of calories or from carbohydrates, and then you pay attention to your activity level, make sure you exercise at least 3 times a week, and pay attention to those little things, the chances of being overweight is less than if you decide to live your life just as it comes. And also when people say, I'm big because my mom is big, most of the time you're big because you eat the same thing your mom eats. And that's what makes them. So it's a combination of both nature and nurture.
As a certified nutrition coach, what do you think people should do, or when should they access a nutrition coach? Is it when their health has gone beyond repair, or when they notice that, okay, I'm going to a level where I need to change? When exactly should they need a nutrition coach?
Okay, I'll beg to surprise you. People need a guidance or a nutrition coach from their 20s.
Okay.
Let me give an example. If you come from a family where your mother or father is diabetic, from age 20 you should look for a nutrition coach to prevent getting diabetic maybe in your 30s or 40s. If you had a father or grandfather who died of prostate issues, you should start working on it from when you're 25. So it's not when you're sick. Lifestyle changes are better done when you're still very well. And prevention, we say, is like insurance. You don't know when it will come. So it's better you start working on your lifestyle early enough. Yeah.
It's been an insightful time with you today on Better You, and I'm sure my viewers at home are ready to make this lifestyle change, as I also want to start this lifestyle change. And I hope you come with more information next time. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And I encourage our audience to not just listen, but act on what they've heard.
I'm sure they are doing just that right now. Mrs. Irene Ofia is up next. The preventive plate, healthy eating. What is in your plate? Let's see this.
Let's think about colors. When you're talking about a preventive plate, you're talking about a plate that has lots and lots of colors. Think of the rainbow. Do your best to eliminate the whites. They are mainly the carbohydrates. So you think about the greens, they are powerhouses. You think about the legumes and the grains, the whole grains that will give you all the fiber that you need. I listened to one of the people talking on the television, and he talked about probiotics. Yeah. Yogurt has lots and lots of probiotics, and there are lots and lots of probiotic drinks. They do not cost an arm and a leg. I recently learnt one to make with hibiscus flower, zobo, or the baobab fruit, that's the kuka fruit. Lots and lots of cheap, affordable probiotic drinks that you can have. Then you think about the superheroes, the spices. Please do your best to spice up your life. You think about the turmeric, the ginger, the garlic. These things are affordable. We don't have to go across the sea or 7 streams and lots of mountains to reach these things. They are within reach. So right here, what I have done, of course, there's no how we can bring everything on this very table this morning. But what I have done is to bring some parfait. This is a yogurt bowl with some fruits, differently colored, you know. And here we have a bottle of smoothie made basically with bananas, orange juice, and garden egg leaves. I just recently started adding kale to it, you know. So with your garden egg leaves, with your bananas and oranges, these are fruits around us, available, readily available all year round, you know. You can make this very rich smoothie with that. And here we have plantain, unripe plantain, with what I call vegetable sauce, made with vegetable oil, tomatoes, they are in season now, onions, they are in season now, and ugu, and a little crayfish. There's no meat nor fish here. And one of the things I believe in is, if it is not natural, please don't put it into your mouth. Our bodies work hard to protect us. Let us give our bodies the right tools so that they can fight for us. Remember, every meal you put into your mouth is a vote, or ought to be a vote, for good health, longevity, and strength. Thank you so much.
Less processed and more natural. Color up your plate too. Very easy to practicalize and make a lasting habit. Your garden. Fill it with edible plants, herbs and vegetables. Be intentional and wise about what is in your plate. Thanks for joining us on Better You. Till next time, my name remains Yetunde Jayola. Bye for now.